Hello, everybody. Zach, we're recording. Quinn's here.
Hello, Quinn.
Hi. Hello.
Quinn, tell us what you've been up to lately.
I've been surviving. I've been alive. I've been making videos. I can't remember what my last video was because I'm making like 3 right now.
No, I remember our last
Yeah.
video. Our last video, as of this recording that has been published, was Blood Raven is a horse.
Yeah, that was
we
a good one.
In the time before this, recorded 4 other videos in one go.
All right, everybody, look down at your at the bar, because this is a 54-minute video at the absolute maximum.
If it goes longer, someone's in trouble.
Yes. And I'll give you a guess who it is. Guys, I have a theory for you today.
I'm excited to hear it.
I wanted to talk about a theory that is not like popular in the fandom, but does like go around, and I am going to defend it, and I have a couple of additional like pieces that are added on.
You're gonna defend a theory that people in the community talk about a lot that is contentious.
Yeah, it's kind of contentious, but first you guys have to guess which one it is.
So, okay, the problem is I ever thought immediately, because I was going to do the exact same thing with a different theory, but it might be the same theory. I was going to do a hear me out for a very common theory.
Okay.
That the community has soured on in recent years, but during the show's run was one of the most popular theories. Am I barking up the right tree?
I don't think so, but you could be.
Okay. How was this? Did this have a fall from grace as a theory? Or was it always contentious?
No, this one's always been contentious. Another one has like risen over it, but like this is the one that has risen over it. Zach, whenever you're ready to type out your first clue, you're running on the screen. Your first clue, Quinn and Zach, is many fans believe that Satin and John are gay.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I love this video, and I'm so excited about it, and I've been excited about it for weeks.
Is this a... Oh no, hold on, what have I done? There we go. Is this what we're talking about? This is not a gateway to get us there. This is you defending Satin and John are gay, the theory.
That is incorrect.
This is a gateway to get us to another theory.
Correct.
Okay.
Is it about John and a romantic partner is my thought.
No.
Is it about Satin potentially being a woman in disguise?
Dang.
Because there's that other woman who's in disguise. This is a Varys is a woman theory that has fallen out of favor.
This is not a Varys is a woman theory. This is the Satin is a woman theory. That's what I want to talk about.
You want to talk about
Brave Danny Flint?
Okay.
Yes.
What is the hint I'm getting here?
He was pretty as a girl with dark eyes, soft skin, and raven ringlets.
It's really hard to hit the quote. He was as pretty as a girl with, what is it now?
Dark eyes, soft skin, and raven ringlets.
Dark eyes. Silk skin.
Soft skin and raven ringlets. Soft skin and raven ringlets.
And raven ringlets. Are ringlets earrings in this context?
No, that's Satin's hair.
Locks of hair that are like kind of spirally. I think.
Thoughts of Jon Snow?
Yes. And look, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think that shipping Satin and John, as so many people in our fandom do, I don't think that's meritorious. That's not the same thing as me saying that I don't like it, but I don't think that it tracks. But when you just look at that line, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with this?
No. Dear God.
Somebody's gonna be like, technically with Targaryen spelling, it should be spelled Gaegon. Thank you. Didn't see why in that position in Targaryen linguistics.
Don't say that position.
Somebody comment that word for word, and then somebody else separately comment that word for word underneath it. just to bother Tom.
So, Quinn, this is what we're talking about today. There is the second most popular Satin fan theory is the most common is definitely that Satin and John are gonna end up together, but that's not what.
And
I
that
want
is
to talk
accurate.
about. The second most popular is that Satin is a girl. And that's what I want to talk about today.
This is a contentious one that's always been contentious.
Yes.
I feel like more people disbelieve this than believe this.
Yes, but I have always thought this was interesting. I've always thought this was a cool idea. Does anybody want to start throwing out evidence as to why I might think that?
I did mention there's precedent for this. There is somebody who Mulan'd their way into the Night's Watch before.
Yes, ding. Anybody remember the name?
Brave Danny Flint.
Absolutely.
Who might be Cold Hands. That's my bet for Cold Hands personally.
What?
But
how do you spell Danny Flint?
Yeah. Danny. Danny
So the regular way.
Yes.
George R. Martin for once.
I believe Flint is also
there's a theory that like
of course George R. Martin for once.
When Cold Hands goes to the Black Gate, despite supposedly being a member of the Night's Watch, Cold Hands isn't able to pass because only a brother of the Night's Watch can.
Not a sister.
Evidence that he's Danny Flint.
Ding.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just bullshitting.
You tapped into some post game content, but absolutely.
Oh, great.
Things that only brothers of the Night's Watch can do are referenced very often.
Could something to do with archery be at play here too?
I don't think so.
I feel like I've heard like people in. No, I'm thinking of. I think maybe it's the Lost Lord. Connington thinks that like knights kind of abhor bows and arrows as a form of weaponry. But,
interesting.
Yeah, I think that's more just kind of seen as dishonorable than seen as feminine.
They do talk about poison.
That's it. That's what I was thinking of.
Yes. And I hadn't thought about that, but now that I think on it, many people assert that Satin is a part of the plot to kill John, which doesn't not.
Oh, what?
Up.
Really?
Yeah. That is not an uncommon take. I don't respect it, but that is.
I'm having trouble seeing the motivation there. I'm currently rereading John's chapters for a video. I don't see what it would have done to upset Satin specifically.
Dude, they're so good.
Oh yeah.
The John chapters are. Ooh. The John chapters in Dance, in my opinion, are the second best single storyline.
In Dance or in general?
Just in Dance. If you have to confine me to a book.
That's valid. I mean, Connington is better, obviously.
That's a hot take. But that one I do respect.
Better. But yeah.
My top two are Brienne and Feast, and John and Dance.
Yeah, that's exactly the two worlds I've currently been living in. My Winter's Coming for Brienne comes out tomorrow, and I'm working on a John video.
So you all should go and check out those videos, like literally.
Oh,
right now.
Sure, yeah. But well, Satin is probably the person who killed Ygritte. Is that an element here?
Ooh, I didn't have that on here, but that is certainly. That is certainly relevant, right? That's another piece of evidence. Actually, that's a piece of evidence both for this theory.
I was going to say for the lover theory.
Yeah.
Well, like, it's probably going to be seen as way less dishonorable if a woman kills another woman versus a man killing a woman by the Night's Watch, like, code, right? Like, there's not an implicit you're protecting the women and the children, but that does get mentioned that, like, there's innocent people behind this wall. We're the first line of defense sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It kind of
Ygritte wargs Satin.
You win the
Ygritte wargs Satin.
Sorry, that's a good theory.
Second life living on in Satin.
I think so. That's what they were trying to tell us with the Varamir prologue.
Is it? Yeah, the Ygritte Satin. Yeah.
Oh my god. I thought that I had something from that scene you were referencing. But I don't think that I do. I thought that I did, but I don't think I do. I read all the way through the Defense of the Wall in preparation for this. And the scenes of Satin and John like sitting on that roof are very cold, but Satin almost never talks.
Hmm.
Yeah. Please continue. What else you guys
I
got?
feel like I
Zach,
have
what you
some
got?
memory of Satin wearing perfume or something.
Yes. Zach, this is a medium-sized one. Ding. Uh, uh,
What am I reading specifically?
um, John could smell horses' breeches, and the sweet scent Satin combed into his beard.
Oh, the beard is interesting for this theory.
Yes, I had intended to discuss that all the way at the end.
Okay.
But I find it like that literally that one line is the one that people that
Yeah,
is
that's
the
the death knell.
yes, that is the only reference to Satin's beard that I could find, and I fucking hunted for it.
Satin, sorry, repeat the last line again.
And the sweet scent Satin combed into his beard.
Combed into his beard.
Yes. Okay. And we will come back to that.
Are you going to assert that beard here is not facial hair, but the woman that Satin dates to pretend not to be gay?
Oh
God. No. No, I'm gonna insert something stupider.
That Satin has a fake beard?
No, that's way more intelligent than what I'm gonna assert. But we'll come back to that later.
I'm on board.
Okay, all right. Anybody else? Keep it going.
That's
Keep it going.
Powerful scent if it's overpowering horses.
Yeah.
This is at one of the moments where John touches Ghost, and he gets like Ghost's sense of
Oh,
smell.
okay.
Yeah.
Does this imply that Ghost really likes the smell of Satin also? And like it's my dog has finally like gotten to like my partner after sufficient belly rubs.
It could do.
Yeah, those are the more
Satin
primal
belly rub.
John, so maybe that's the instinct there.
We've never not seen
Ghost get belly rubs from Satin. Yeah. We've never been told specifically that's never happened.
That's gonna be John's first chapter in Wins.
Is Satin giving belly rubs to him as Ghost?
Yes.
That actually, if you told me that was an early scene in Wins, I would believe it, actually.
All right. All right, we're staying on task here. We're staying on task, team.
So my other thought is that like the vibe with Satin, a lot of people don't like him, right? There's that line from Bo and Mars to like what is he gonna say? Like boy, pet, whore.
Yes, absolutely. Ding. 100%. Everybody hates Satin.
Credit to Out of Context Ice and Fire on Twitter, who I think posted that last week and made me remember it.
Let me see. Yes. Everyone who interacts with Satin, especially those in command, do not like Satin. They don't respect him as a choice for John's second in command. Why?
Because he was a sex worker, right?
Exactly, because he grew up in a brothel, and everyone at the Watch believes that the people who should be attending to the Lord Commander should be people of high birth. It should be people that are respected, right? And this goes on. This meshes very nicely with the theming, a lot of the theming of the whole story, but especially the theming of the Night's Watch, which is people are people, and if you give them the ability to lead, they will lead, and if you give them a crossbow, they can shoot it. Regardless of whether they're from north of the wall or south of the wall, whether they're a man or a woman, or whether they are, no matter where they came from socially or economically.
It is fascinating, though, I just thought about this, that some of the people in the highest leadership positions at the Wall are all highborn. Like, it's a Mormon, it's the Lord Commander when we get there, and then the other manned castles, I believe both of them, Cotter Pike and, who's the other one?
Malister.
Malister Those are both highborn men.
One's a bastard, but yeah.
One's a bastard, but he's still a highborn bastard. And so is
Yeah.
Jon Snow, for that matter. A Stark
True.
bastard, which is about as honorable as a bastard can get.
Yeah, isn't that interesting for an order that is supposed to forget all of that?
Next video, classism at the wall.
I mean, like we're kind of doing that. That's kind of what we're doing. Yeah. All right.
Oh, I have a kind. I thought that's probably nothing.
Okay.
He's from Old Town, correct?
Yes.
Don't we? The one of the 2 chapters we currently have in Old Town is focused around what, like a kind of brothel establishment in the Honeywine, the one island where Pate goes.
Yeah, that cool inn. Yeah.
Is there somewhat of a connect? Is that something or is that nothing?
That is not where I'm going. The exact origins of like precisely where Satin came from, I haven't speculated on, though we will do that in the future. Zach, would you please put down in the corner, Satin is from Old Town.
Satin Hightower ?
We'll come back to that in a minute.
Well, we can play our own inside baseball with our own theories here. Marwyn the Mage lives in Old Town. Marwyn the Mage is son of Aerion Brightflame, according to our theories.
Yeah, according to us.
Which means that Jon's Targaryen wife can be Satin, who's secretly a woman and a Targaryen. All right. I sent it. That's the theory.
Who's secretly a Targaryen and the bastard child of Robert Baratheon, as we've speculated elsewhere.
We did also say that Satin's a... Yes. So
What?
It's Aerion Brightflame's granddaughter through the maternal line. And the father is Robert Baratheon. There we go.
I've lost the plot.
We did a Babies of Bobby B video where we speculated we get an exact number.
Oh, because of the dark hair with
Satin. Yeah, so
yeah.
We tried to ask who the different bastards of Robert Baratheon could be. And Satin was one of the contenders we said was more likely than others. The only problem is the eye color. His dark eyes clash with the blue eyes that should be
I feel like all of
baby should have.
Yeah. I feel like Bobby B's bastards also have like the build generally.
Yeah, they're usually ripped, but not always.
Everything okay over there?
Oh, my brother's putting food away in the freezer. It's not fitting.
Where did all this fucking Salisbury steak come from?
I really hope that came up on the mic.
I do hope so. Okay, I think
Where'd all this fucking Salisbury steak come from? Holy shit. Okay.
The last time I opened there, it was empty.
I did buy a lot of frozen meals. I do that.
Okay. Let's pause on that for a moment. Although keep in mind that like Satin could be hiding an identity. Let's keep that in the back of our brains.
Oh wait, Robert and Ned were likely gay lovers, and both of their bastards, Jon and Satin, will follow suit.
That would be poetic. Yes. Absolutely. This romance that was destined but broke apart lives on again.
Yeah, the two who should have loved each
Muscled
other.
like a maiden's fantasy.
Can live on through their bastards.
Muscled like a maiden's fantasy. Muscled like a maiden's yaoi fantasy. Okay, everybody calm down. Quinn, you were talking about Old Town. What else happens in that chapter that you were talking about?
Apples. Faceless Man. Faceless Man.
No, who else is out there?
Pate. Alaras.
Correct! Zach, I would like you to write this in exactly this phrasing. Sorella Sand is an 18-year-old woman who snuck into a male-exclusive institution behind a flimsy disguise. No one has noticed.
So, flimsy disguise would imply that Satin isn't the true identity, right?
Yes. But before we move on, does anyone dispute that?
No.
This disguise is pretty flimsy because you spell your name backwards.
Well, I think we're making a pretty large logical leap to assume that Alaras is Sorella. There's no...
I do want to point out that very briefly, I worked with somebody whose name was Kaz, and it was not me in drag. It was just a woman.
You're right. This could just be somebody else.
I think it's a Robert Strong situation.
Oh my god.
It's just a new person.
I have a friend named Sorella.
My friend named Sorella. My friend Alaras is very upset.
Satin is the undead Sorella Sand revived by Qyburn and installed onto...
Yeah, Sorella died off screen and was resurrected by Qyburn as Alaras.
So, if this theory was true, Satin would be what, Zach?
An 18-year-old woman who's stuck into an all-male institution with a flimsy disguise and nobody's noticed yet.
Yeah, I mean...
To be fair, it takes a while for somebody to call out Arya as a girl when she's being Weasel and
True.
Airy and all those different names. It takes a hot minute for anybody to be like, that's not a young boy. That's a young girl with short hair.
Clash is my least reread book in the series. I don't remember how long that takes.
Good couple. I reread it recently. It's a good couple chapters.
Arya has 1 billion chapters, right?
I mean, all of them do. But yes, there's that book is the Arya and Tyrion show, and that is definitely like it feels like you're just pinging back and forth between those two, and then occasionally George remembers another character, but usually it's Bran and he's not doing much.
Yeah, I wish I liked Bran's chapters before A Dance with Dragons.
But, hey, how dare you talk that way about the Night Fort chapter?
Yeah.
Okay, that one's okay. I'll give that a pass.
The one where they're hiding in the crypts is actually pretty good.
I
also like his dream in the first book.
Yeah, he has a couple of good.
Yeah, so like the goodbye to Lewin is one of
he's
my
got
favorite
one a
Bran
book
scenes.
pretty evenly.
He has one per book, and it's a real shame the one in Clash is his last one, and also I think the last one in the book.
Is it really?
I think it's either the last one or one of the last ones is Maester Lewin being like.
I think you're right.
Killed. Yeah.
I have no memory of the end of Clash for some reason.
The audience know for a while that Bran and Rickon are not dead.
Yeah.
It's implied, but it's not outright stated until that Bran chapter.
Which
like
is
in
like
HBO's Game of Thrones.
I love this series, and I'm going insane. We're staying on the rails.
Yes,
I know there's a character we think is dead right now because they seem dead at the end of the last book.
Yeah,
who's totally alive, and everybody's guess is Quentin Martell, even though it isn't.
Yeah, and
somebody else we think is dead is totally gonna come back fine.
They guess Quentin Martell, and they're missing the obvious Kevin Lannister.
Okay, like Kevin just pops off, removes several knives, stitches self, and okay, back to business. I need to fix this economy.
Snap.
And the entire book is Kevin Lannister's tax policy, and that's why Wins is taking so long.
Oh my god! Yeah, he wrote it in its
trying
entirety.
To get that
out. Quinn.
Hi.
What do we know about Satin? Let's say intellectually or educationally.
He can read, I think. Right?
Yes, Satin is literate.
Also, it's Satin Flowers, right? That he does have the bastard name.
Yes. Yep. He is Satin Flowers,
which implies some sort of noble birth.
Correct. Furthermore, Satin says "my lord" instead of "milord."
Oh, I never caught that.
Yep. This is I wish I wrote down where I found it. I did not find that, but that is cited in a lot of Satin theories.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And as we know, lowborn girls say "milord."
Satin is Arya.
Yeah, Satin's Arya. Zach Satin's Arya.
I mean, originally there was supposed to be Arya, Jon, Tyrion love triangle.
Yeah, we don't gotta talk about that.
Satin's Rickon.
So I think, and I'm not confident in, but I think that, let me grab one of these. I think that, that like this here this and let's see, this are it could be lampshading, and this could be lampshading that Satin is a girl in disguise. The one on high on the list of reasons that I think that is because the brave Danny Flint like plot point has not been used yet. Does that make sense? It would be weird to put it in if it's not going to be relevant anywhere.
And it's weird if the only thing it's relevant for is ILRS.
Yes.
Which has a much more obvious tell and doesn't need to be foreshadowed.
Yes.
Because you look at ILRS and you're like,
the riddle,
did we
not
hear
the
about
Riddler.
Sorella?
Yeah, exactly. A couple of other just little side pieces to add to this. Does anyone one guess each. Take a stab at my favorite chapter in the series. It is a John chapter. Any guesses?
So the fact that you're asking makes me think Satin is somehow involved.
Satin is not involved, but there are lampshades to.
Then I'm gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna stab in the dark for my favorite John chapter, which is John 2, A Dance with Dragons.
John 2 has to be. Is that the arrival of Mel and them?
No, John. I believe John 2 is. No, I don't believe. I just reread it. John 2 is the chapter that's partially overlapping with Sam 1, A Feast for Crows.
I was gonna say that one.
The baby swap. It's Kill the Boy. It's Janos Slint's execution. It's Ed Vetch My Block. It's great. It's the best.
Hell yeah. I love that chapter. That's a really good. All of John and Dance is really good. That is not.
He's got like one or two stinkers in there, but overall, yes.
And the thought of what if Tom tries to assert that Janos Slint is also a woman because it sounds kind of like Danny Flint.
Oh, it does kind of sound like Danny Flint, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've heard less tenuous theories.
Someone send it to us. Make it Janos Slint is secretly a woman, despite the fact he was prominently displayed by bald guy with beard.
The Flints are involved in the story, right? Those are the mountain clans. They support Stannis.
Yeah, they're kicking around. I suppose it is possible that we could get more information about Danny Flint from is it like the old Flint or like Big Flint or something?
Yeah.
Flint and Little or something? I don't remember.
Yeah.
That was my guess. What's your guess?
Zach, do you have a stab at my favorite chapter?
Your favorite John chapter is the one where Stannis offers to make him king, and he goes and pets Ghost, and is like, I can't be king. I just pet a really nice dog. Also, I have responsibilities, I guess.
I'd have to give up my dog.
Yeah.
And I will be good goddamned, as it were. No, I like it, but no. My favorite chapter in the entire series is the wildlings coming through the wall.
Oh,
John 12. Great chapter.
Hell yeah. In my opinion, if you ask me to pick one, that is
underrated to hell. I love that chapter.
Yeah, it's so good. It
ends with the letter from Hardhome, right?
Yes, I believe it does. Yeah, it ends with the feast and then ends. It ends with the letter to Hardhome. From Hardhome. Damn it. Yes, you're right.
I think because it's the ships are dying. There are things in the water. It's horrifying, and I love it.
Dead things in the woods. Dead things in the water.
Yeah.
And I think that the description of all of the wildlings with all of their varied, all of them varied, and all of them interesting in their own ways, coming through the wall, fucking single file, is so goddamn cool. And in that chapter, something interesting happens. They ask for hostages.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone remember anything interesting about two of those hostages that might be relevant here?
I remember there was a kid of Varamir, maybe two.
Oh, there was. No, that's not what I'm looking for, though.
That was the only thing I remember about any of the hostages. One was Tormund's, maybe.
No, I do. I love. Is it Toreg? I love them so much. They're all cool. Two of the people who volunteer, who are drawn as hostages, are girls, and they pretend to be boys.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's where we get the reference to Brave Danny Flint.
Oh, that's actually fascinating. I remembered that was a story. I didn't realize when it came into the story. That's like super late in Dance.
It is, yes.
That's like a hook he threw out pretty recently that I think maybe makes it more relevant.
Is that not on the screen? That's not on the screen.
Yeah, you're just a little bit off.
That's not just like some detail he dropped in like Clash and probably forgot about.
Yeah, that is that is one of the last details that he adds into the story. He explicitly reminds us, the reader, about the story of Danny Flint 18 hours before John dies.
Oh God.
Zach, you don't need to write all this, but Sir Malagorn of Redpool refuses to allow Satin to escort Selyse to the wedding feast. Selyse has disdain for Satin, which is ironic to me because she's always on the lookout for highborn ladies that she can connect with. And if this theory is correct, Satin is a highborn lady.
I like it. That would track with like Selyse's general like character and vibe.
Yeah, where she wants something specifically and then does something that makes that very unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
And these collected together make up one of the theories that I think is most interesting. At least one of the theories that I think is most interesting that the fandom does not agree with me on.
You have multiple options for who Satin is.
I don't. I did try to pull some up, but the one that I kept coming back to was that the timing of Satin arriving at the wall, which is the beginning of right before. Oh, wait, hang on.
It's during the ranging, right?
Yes, shows up during the ranging, and then John comes back and they're there.
Yeah.
That lines up with Satin learns that the children of Robert Baratheon are being hunted, right? There's been this change of regime, and this is the amount of time that it took him to get to the wall.
Oh, yeah.
I think, Selyse might be something. Wasn't...
yeah. She just likes
Didn't he get Baratheon with one of Stannis's, like, sisters-in-law during Stannis's wedding?
Yes.
He did, yeah. He slept with a Florent, yeah.
And that's a noble house in the Reach.
Yep.
Oh.
Edric Storm, or if they were twins, right? They were a boy and a girl. The one stays at Storm's End, and the other comes back to the Reach, right?
I don't remember what happened to the kids. I just remember that he slept with one of Selyse's sisters.
Edric Storm is the kid that's born from that.
You're right.
Oh wait, is he? Is that
Edric Storm?
Right, because he has the Florent ears.
Yes, he has the Florent ears.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
So if they were twins, then they could
was
be
it
split
twins?
Up. There's nobody says that it's twins, but maybe nobody knew, right? The Florent would have
like a Jon Snow Mira Reed situation.
Back home, yeah. So
I don't believe that. For reference, that's not real. But
yeah,
Satin arrives. Yeah. Yep.
Babies, bastard babies are being butchered. There we go.
Nice one. Nice one. Nice one, dude.
That tracks to me, and I can see it now. Like, Edric is the boy, Satin is the girl, and like presumably the Florent who got impregnated at Storm's End didn't just hang out there for 9 months because she wouldn't know that she's pregnant for weeks at least, right? So
yeah,
she presumably went back.
Medieval world, I'd assume months.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Like, she probably didn't know for quite some time that she was pregnant, and then all of a sudden, like, she goes back to Storm's End? No, why did you go there? Robert's not there anymore.
Oh my god, and they parent trapped them. They split the kids, one Storm, one Flowers.
Yeah.
That just made me like this theory about 25% more.
Let's go! Yeah! Satin is Robert Baratheon's daughter.
Yeah. No, I
Damn.
buy this implicitly now.
All right.
The beard. You have to explain the beard, then I'll buy it.
Okay. I'm gonna save that right for the end because I have a couple of like interesting things I want to talk about in the interim. We have the theory, right? These are all the pieces. Zach, I'm gonna let you red pen it up, and I'm just gonna read a couple of my favorite things.
Okay.
That like I need to go over a couple things before we move on. So like a big part of this theory is the Danny Flint story, and I don't. Would you like the pen?
No, it's good. I mean, I'll try it, I guess.
Okay.
I know I'll stick with the best.
Okay. All right.
This is working fine.
Yeah. A big part of the Danny Flint. A big part of this is the Danny Flint story, and that could make this take a very dark turn. And
that's true.
I understand that, and this is not me discounting that. This is me not wanting to talk about that. Fuck that. That's stupid.
It does actually.
I don't want to do it.
That brings with it the thought that like if Satin isn't involved in the conspiracy, like what is next for them?
Oh yeah, because the loyalists to Jon Snow will be a minority at the Wall.
Yeah, and Satin's already disliked.
So there are dark ways this could go. We're not talking about those today.
No, not at all.
I want to go in a different direction. You ready for this? One of the things in Game of Thrones that I think was inspired by George is Jon resigning as Lord Commander.
Yes, agreed.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Agreed endorsed.
In the books, I think very, very mild spoilers for House of the Dragon, extremely mild. I think that there will be a parallel to the Hour of the Wolf at the Wall after Jon comes back, if that makes sense to you guys.
Ooh. I love that idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
He takes up the he puts on the black cloak for 2 hours and does what he's got to do and then says bye.
He kills all the people
excellent
with
idea.
internal political scheming. He basically pressures them into picking somebody who would be competent. And then he dips.
Yes, I think that could be very cool.
I don't know
I
why
agree.
I've never thought of that before. That just sounds correct.
Maybe
Maybe that's his thing. Like, he does the same thing. He says, I gotta go to Winterfell. He goes, he kills everybody there, and then he does the same thing in King's Landing after Dany's, like, thing. He just becomes, with less of a soul and less fucks to give, he's like, I can solve this by murdering all the people who are causing the problem.
Yep, I'm just gonna cut them all in half.
And because the internal politics and scheming at King's Landing is about 12 murders away from not existing anymore.
Yeah. And I do think that, like, if we're looking at stuff in Fire and Blood and stuff that was really, like, added and expanded on for that book, I think that is where some of Martin's best, like, I don't know, hints or parallels are going to come into play. Like, I've always thought that, like, Rhaenyra being refused at Rosby is such a clear flag for what's going to happen to Cersei.
Yeah. Yes.
Ooh, hell yeah. Ooh, I kind of like that.
Yeah, because I mean that's been a whole issue in Feast, and it's just a queen who's out of power, out of favor, fleeing a city to the nearest castle, which she has recently dishonored in Rhaenyra's case because of things that I won't spoil. But yeah.
So we got to come back to that in another video. That's really good.
Sorry.
That's really good to just prattle off.
Yeah, that's
a
really
solid theory.
That's really fucking cool to just like toss into the wind.
I apologize if that distracted.
It's not
Oh my
distraction.
God.
That's just really good.
Yeah, that's just great. If we didn't have a time limit, that would have turned this into a 25-minute tangent. Okay. So that sucked, but like think about that from Satin's perspective. Satin would have the ability, if this is all true, Jon had the ability to functionally desert and not be considered a deserter. He could leave the Night's Watch and not be a deserter. Satin has the same, because Jon says the words, "It shall not end until my death," and then he dies. He is able to get out of his oath. Satin, strictly speaking, is not a man of the Night's Watch, and we could do a Lord of the Ringsy thing where
I am no man.
where Satin is able to get out of that. And
Yeah.
now we start to get weird. Okay, come with me on this weird journey.
Oh God.
I like made a backdoor theory that like like 2 o'clock in the morning I was finishing this up and I was like, can I put together a theory where the founding Night's Watch members were all women?
Oh,
Yes, and like I think I can. I'm gonna read the oath and just think about it in those terms. Night gathers and now my watch begins. It shall not end until my death. I shall take no wife, hold no lands, father no children. I shall wear no crowns and win no glory. And then it continues for some time. Sword in the darkness, light that brings the dawn, etc.
Watcher on the wall.
Yes. And all of those are like wearing crowns, fathering children, holding lands, taking wives, are only things that men can do.
I just had a thought.
Yeah.
It's weird and unrelated and kind of strange. I mean, it's related. House of the Dragon, season 2, episode 1, that opening scene, that Stark that drew the stone.
Yes.
I thought that looked like a woman for a few minutes. I thought that was a Danny Flit situation at first.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
Like it was ambiguous. I couldn't quite tell.
Cregan Stark is a lady?
The other one, not Cregan Stark.
Yeah, but hear me out though.
Maybe. That would explain some stuff with Jace in the book.
So, here's my backdoor theory is the Night's Watch could be an order at the end of the series, could be an order run entirely by women. Satin first steward, Arya first ranger, and my final clue is it used to be the castle used to be infested with rats malords, but the spearwives ate the rats. Now it's infested with spearwives.
Yeah, there could be like a woman's watch at the end.
Yeah, and like I don't know how meritorious that is, but it is fun to think about.
It's fun to think about,
and it isn't unsupported.
No. It's mildly suggested if you squint.
Yeah, which is closer than a lot of theories in the fandom.
Yeah,
this
correct.
one's still better than like millions of people have watched Howland Reed is equal to the High Sparrow, and this theory is far more meritorious than that one.
Oh, damn it. I knew it. All right.
There's no evidence that that's not the case. I've never seen them in the same room.
That's true. By that logic, Howland Reed is also every character in the book.
True.
Howland Reed is Quentin Martell, who is alive.
Good.
And also Kevin Lannister.
You know, I'm actually, with Quentin is alive, I'm not unreceptive to it. I don't think it's the case, but I think that you can tell that George built himself that trap door that I don't think he's ever going to take.
Like
I agree with that implicitly. My thought basically is, and sorry to jump over you, Tom.
Go, please.
I don't think that theory is true, and I really wish that it is.
I am the opposite. I don't think it's true, and I don't want it to be true. We need to call some viewpoints.
The opposite was I would hate it if it's true, and also it is.
Like, I think it's true, and I'm mad about it.
Which I don't think anybody has ever said about Quentin is alive. That's a good one.
I listened through with that in mind my last time through Dance, and I'm like, I get where you're coming from. I do. I see how you got there. However, just like Mance Rhaegar, like the fact that I like it does not mean I think it's true.
My logic with George is always it's not dead until we see the very, very long funeral procession during which the body is destroyed. And then maybe not even.
So, Zach, give me a rating on Satin as a Girl.
8 out of 10. Like, this has convinced me that this is a totally violent. Like, I was always sympathetic to this theory because it'd be cool. This is plenty of evidence that, like, Satin specifically is the twin sister that Edric Storm doesn't know he has.
Mm-hmm.
Is such a cool idea that George would do, and it perfectly satisfies where Satin came from for me. It gives an explanation why we get the Danny Flint story, and the only hang up I have is still the beard, but I think
Yeah.
you're about to have a wild take.
Oh
here.
yeah, well yeah, and
I
Quinn.
think, yeah, for me, I'd say a 7 with a contingent 8 on the beard explanation. I
All
think
right.
that genuinely the thought that regardless of gender, Satin is one of Robert Baratheon's bastards is like a 9 for me. I really like that interpretation.
Isn't that a cool one? I like that one a
That's
lot.
such a cool idea, and it fits perfectly.
I'm gonna put that in the title. So the title is Satin is a girl, and the thumbnail is and also John's not gay.
That's it's just an arrow to John with gay question mark. Yeah,
It's like
that's a good thumbnail.
kind of a reverse hate situation. Like,
Reverse pate.
wait, no, it wasn't somebody had a? No, I'm getting mixed up. Something else. Never mind.
I thought you meant like my favorite reverse pate situation. I have said for a long time that Sorella Sand is actually Rhaenys Targaryen, who was rescued by her uncle Oberyn during the Siege of King's Landing.
This is literally our famous joke that all the sand snakes are adopted.
Yes, yeah. And Oberyn doesn't actually have any children.
It's like Aegon, yeah.
And my position.
No one in Ice and Fire has any children.
Yes. I've always said that everyone thinks that Elras is a Summer Islander. My take is not that Elras has particularly dark skin, but just that Pate is racist.
Honestly, plausible.
Right? Like
we get one chapter and he's
that is his vibe when we are in his head.
He's a dumbass.
Yeah.
I hate him.
One of the dumber viewpoints. I'd say second dumbest prologue behind
the
Chet.
reason you haven't passed your classes is because you keep skipping, or the reason you can't pass all the tests is because you keep skipping the classes and just sit there listening to Maester Rogan the whole time.
Oh, God.
Holy shit! Holy shit! That was a joke, Zach. Holy shit! Oh my god!
What's the Westeros equivalent of a podcast?
A book.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. So I'm gonna read the beard. This is our last one. I'm gonna read the beard thing again. The shield that I'm sorry. Ghost nuzzled up against his shoulder, and John draped an arm around him. He could smell horses' unwashed breeches, the sweet scent satin combed into his beard, the rank, sharp smell of fear, the giant's overpowering musk. Once again, the sweet scent satin combed into his beard. That pronoun is ambiguous. I think that Satin combs that perfume into John's beard.
Oh, does John have a beard?
Yeah, he's got scruff, right? I hope so. I really hope so.
That's my only. I love that reading of it.
If you believe
I don't know if John has a
theory
beard.
that when there's a chapter where he's described as looking at Marcella, and if you read it, it could be talking about two separate girls in the same room. If you read it with only that specifically in mind, and I have to say, if you believe that theory, you also must believe
this one.
This one.
This one should be a
going on
slam
the
dunk.
first
This one's really easy. It doesn't say whose beard.
Let's see.
The sweet
Search of Ice
scent.
and Fire, John chapter beard. I'm
Yes.
searching.
Yeah, do it.
That's bear. Hold on. Beard.
The sweet scent Satin combed into his beard. That's
That with the third person omniscient narration that we get from the wonderful and sadly deceased Roy Detrice, that is ambiguous. You're 100% correct.
right.
Oh, we found it. A Clash of Kings, John 6 and 8. John grows a beard after leaving the Fist of the First Men.
Let's fucking go! We got him! Boom! Yeah.
Checkmate.
Mm-hmm.
I thought John was too young to grow a beard, but
I'm really glad that you looked that up because I had a memory in the back of my brain that Jon had a beard, but as we were talking about it, I was like, oh shit, that's Kit Harington. Oh fuck.
Yep,
Yeah.
Harrington, must have grown the same.
Is this the
beard
thing?
as
When I
Jon
think of
Snow.
Book John, I think of like clean shaven and more of a like skinnier than Kit Harington.
Yeah, like wiry.
And younger.
Yeah, lanky ass kid. Yeah.
Is he like what, like 16, 17?
Yeah, I believe he's
I think
15,
he's 16 in Dan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that's that makes sense because he's the steward. He would be doing that.
He would be tending Jon's beard, right? Like he doesn't need to be, but it's entirely reasonable for him to.
And they're in love, so he would.
Yes, right. They're dating, so he would be doing that.
Yeah. Albeit this could be a problematic age gap, given that Satin is 18, right?
Yeah, that is extremely true. But Jon describes Satin as looking older, and it could just be like girls tend to grow a little bit faster. It could Satin could be 16 and just
How old is Edric?
I believe Edric is 16.
Okay, so she's 16 also.
Yeah, we could that actually fits really nicely.
Good old Natas Flowers.
Say again?
Edric is 13.
Natas Flowers.
Nitas.
So I don't think that she's Edric's twin because Edric is 13.
Oh, Edric's 13? Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I just looked it up on the wiki.
How old is Gendry?
Good older, I know that because I think I'm just thinking Brienne's chapters.
Well, wait, he has to be as old as when Stannis got married.
How long? Gendry is 16.
Gendry's 16.
And how old is Edric? Let's look him up.
Edric is 13.
13. Okay.
So Stannis got married. That makes sense given Shireen's age.
Yeah, it does. It does. It could just be another of Robert's bastards whose origins we just don't know. Unironically, could Satin be a Hightower? I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Possible.
Could Satin be?
We have zero physical descriptions of Hightowers, if I recall. Other than Allery, maybe. I'm not sure.
Oh no, we do. Liness. Wait, maybe not Liness. Jorah's wife.
Oh yeah, she looked like Daenerys.
Yes. Yep. We know that they look Targaryen.
Yeah, because there's the thoughts that is Alicent Sarah's kid or something.
So unironically, maybe Satin was at Old Town. Maybe Satin was laying low, being the bastard kid of a secondary branch of House Hightower. Just laying low as an acknowledged bastard.
Dyed Valyrian hair.
Say again.
Dyed Valyrian hair.
Well, her hair would need to be dyed because Baratheon.
True.
It tends to wipe out other genes.
Yeah.
And Satin just up and booked it when Baratheon children started dying.
Yeah. My mom said that Bobby B came to this brothel and that I might be his kid, and I don't know if that's true or not, but I ain't gonna wait until somebody has a knife at me to find out.
Yeah. So
especially the word of the baby getting killed at the brothel, probably Tyrion's afraid of the PR implications of that, straight up. The word's gonna go out in the street that you're having babies killed at brothels. And people are gonna start to speculate as to why. I think he says that's pretty much straight up in those terms to Cersei. This is a nightmare for our realm. That word has to spread to anybody who's keeping the rumor mill.
Absolutely.
In the same way that people pay attention to the rumor mill of DC, the rumor mill of King's Landing has to be I heard blank is coming down the pipe. Brothel children get killed is going out there. Old Town's going to be one of the places they're speculating on it because that's where so much scheming happens. We're running out of time.
We are.
I also will say, I know we're near the end of the time. The other thing I was thinking about, I looked into the timeline of it. 282 would be 18 years ago from Dance, and that's, I think, the first year of Robert's rebellion. So he is going around the kingdoms at that point. He's not in Old Town.
Yeah.
He's in the field. He's going from inn to inn, brothel to brothel.
And there's camp followers, so if you're in a brothel and all the troops leave, you might just come with them. Or just find a different camp. So, and if any of the Houses of the Reach did not fight for the Targaryens, which I think might be the case, or at the very least can't be ruled out, one might have come along, and she could have met Robert.
Absolutely. But then how would she get the name Flowers?
Yeah, because it's where you're raised, not where you're born, though. So maybe they just went back to the Reach.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be noble.
True. Huh.
Maybe she was later separately lifted up to nobility.
Yeah, could also just be older.
Or it's a kid, right? If you know your kid's father is noble, you would insist on the last name, even if you're lowborn.
I don't know I don't know if you can do that without the acknowledgement of the parent, of the noble parent.
Like Gendry's not. He doesn't have a last name.
They call him Gendry Waters in the show, but you're right.
Yeah, but the show's bad.
Well, the show, it's.
We've established this.
Is that the note we're ending on? Show bad.
Show bad. Quinn, what have you been working on?
A good note to end on.
Tell the folks at home what you've been working on, and we will run away and let people think about Satin combing.
Sure. No, I might have to do a video on Satin now. Winds of Winter's coming for Satin. No, I'm doing a bunch of stuff. I do a bunch of Song of Ice and Fire videos on my channel. Ones that will probably be out by the time this video is out. I'm doing a video. Winter's coming for Brienne, so what's her recent past in the series and future in the Winds of Winter. And then I'm working on 2 videos where I'm evaluating both Jon and Cersei's times in power and essentially going over their mistakes, where they went wrong, and how they might have been able to improve on it, and how they hopefully will improve on it in the future.
All right, fantastic. Please do go and check that out. Before we end, quick shout out to Taco, something to talk about. Because I played his Satin video on loop in preparation for this. And Zach, why don't end on a joke, please?
Please comment below if the thumbnail is funny, subversive, or my exact description of Jon Snow with an arrow pointing to him and gay ? Given the words. Any of those 3, or all 3.
Everybody say goodbye.
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 Bye.